So RAG, retrieval augmented generation. So this is the concept we talked in the last webinar as well. So whenever you have a sensitive data, whenever you have your private internal data that you don't want to be exposed to LLMs. So right now, obviously, everybody just load the data into AI and ask AI for all the answers, yes, but then that data is by default trained by the LLMs. So even if it is not, still, when you have a lot of data, so for example, you have thousands of those documents and you want to make those decisions off of that, so there will be a lot of hallucination. So to avoid that, there's a concept called RAG. This is where you keep your internal data into your internal database, let's say a vector database. So you still use LLM for certain things, but you filter the results based off of your own data, and then LLM would query based off of that. So that's the concept where you are really using the internal data to get the data out of your LLMs. So it's a combination of your own internal data as well as the LLMs. And then it's not getting all the public data, so less hallucination. So that's how you improve the quality of the data as well. So obviously, RAG would limit what your model sees by giving it only the data it needs to see at that moment. So the data in your vector database is your all the millions of records that you have. So it will limit the data, and then LLM would do the search off of that data. So that's how the RAG process works. Now, you still need anonymization in many cases. So you have a PHI data for doing the development, doing the testing. You don't want the real data. And even when you're giving it to LLMs, there is no need to give everything. Like, for example, you can say male, 60-year-old, has XYZ, this ethnicity, all of that, without giving any specific PHI data. So you can anonymize that. So it would allow you to do testing, involvement, everything, iteration, without exposing your PHI. And sandboxing would just doing the experiment again in your test environment, using the anonymized data. And even in that case, obviously, you will never use the real data, even if you're using a real name. Those are more of a dummy. So yeah, but if you combine all of these approaches, that would reduce your risk. It will protect the patient data, and that would allow teams to innovate faster without waiting for the perfect data set.